Hello, fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum, as always, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Laura Harper. Coach, welcome back. Finally won at home.
We did. We're finally home.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a great feeling.
So let's talk about Liberty, a very talented Liberty team coming in, had just dropped 93 against Tennessee, the very high-powered offensive team. You hold them to 64. I thought defensively the Tigers did a really nice job making shots difficult and limiting their second chances.
We did. Overall, proud of their defensive effort, and I think, we're able to sustain some lulls offensively, but, our effort kept us in the game.
And sticking with the defense, your backcourt pressure, whether it was off of a miss or after a make, 11 steals as a team, and a lot of them were coming from just causing havoc in the backcourt. And it wasn't always three players back there. It was sometimes a Sharia Baines or Samaya Turner or Aminata Chikite back there. Talk about that, because we've seen that a few times, Maryland and Oregon State as well, where you've just been able to wreak havoc in the backcourt.
It's definitely going to be a gritty, hard-fought game for us for the rest of the season, and Sharia will say it. She wants to get up. She wants to have deflections, get steals, and Samaya kind of is the head of our press there. So those two together are really, really causing people problems. And now India's defending. So, it's fun to know that they have that level of just effort back there.
Speaking of, Sharia Baines, a career high for the freshman point guard, 12 points. She looked overall, that might have been her best game, at least in my opinion. She looked confident. She looked in control and pulling up and hitting some jumpers as well. She looked like a seasoned vet, I thought, in that Liberty game. Still some freshman mistakes, but she looked much better.
Of course. Game 6 with a freshman point guard, I think she is growing exponentially every single game. So ultimately, that's the goal. I agree. I felt like she got people in spots that they needed to. And she just looks confident and like she's having fun out there.
Aminata Chikite, we saw at Maryland, had a big day, 13 points for her against a talented Terps team. She has 10 against Liberty the other night, and then in all of her other games, no more than 5, sometimes scoreless. She's somebody who we saw last year can explode. What's the key to her being more impactful offensively? Because defensively, we've seen what she can do. It's that offensive side of the ball for her.
Of course. It's no secret that when Amina is in the gym and she's consistently working, it pays off. And I think it starts with me just empowering her and encouraging her to keep with her shots, because we need her to be an offensive threat and a defensive threat.
Deja Bristol, again, the stat line doesn't necessarily show the impact from her, but when you talk about Smuda and Howard, who 6'6" and 6'5" respectively, I thought, she didn't always get the rebound, but she was sealing them off. She limited them to the impact they could have had. And we talked about her last week, but she just brings that veteran presence and that IQ to know I may not make the play, but I'm going to make the play that helps make the play.
Of course. Deja is just our core inside. She's holding it down. She's making things challenging for the other team. She's playing increased minutes and being extremely productive in those minutes that she's playing. So, she's taking charges. She's sliding her feet. She's just doing so much for our interior defense.
So a tough loss against Liberty, but when you look at the Liberty game and then the last few games, do you feel like you're trending in the right direction? It certainly feels that way when you watch it. Does the team feel that way too?
I hope so. I think that's definitely something that we are just having perspective on. 1, the rigor of our schedule. 2, us sustaining some of these adverse situations and continuing to build, what India was able to do, what we need her to do every single night. I think now she knows, 1, how hard she has to play. 2, she can't get in foul trouble. 3, that offensively, she's going to have to take more shots.
Yeah, there seemed like times, are you getting that message to her? There was times, I know us on the broadcast, where we wanted Indy to pull up and she maybe waited or tried to drive too late. And is she starting to understand that full picture now of what it takes to be that go-to scorer?
I think so. I think she's naturally extremely unselfish, and she doesn't necessarily want that clout per se, even though she's had it before, just, being in Delaware, that 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year. So I think it starts with me just reminding her who she is and her talent and what she's capable of.
All right, so you get one at home. Now we're back on the road.
I know.
November 29th and November 30th, but it's a fun trip. You're going to Puerto Rico to take part in the tournament down there. First of all, just talk about this trip and how this came to be.
For sure. I'm always the one that says these young women, they deserve experiences. So to be able grateful for our administration to allow and afford us to go on a trip like this. So it was one of those things. I just fought for them to have a trip and hopefully work things through that way.
The two teams you'll play down there, two talented teams, UTSA and Youngstown State, both 4-1. When you look at them, I mean, this is just two more quality opponents to kind of round out your non-conference schedule, and a few more at home once you get back. But it's all learning experiences, and of course, also, you look at Youngstown State, they dropped 36 points in a loss to Bucknell. So hopefully, you're catching some teams at the right time while you guys are starting to elevate.
Of course, we're focused on us and continuing to trend up, and we'll be ready to compete when we get down to Puerto Rico.
All right, Coach, have fun in Puerto Rico and good luck, and bring home some W's.
Thank you so much.
All right, the Tigers are on the road again November 29th and November 30th. For more on their trip to Puerto Rico, make sure you keep it to TowsonTigers.com. For the head coach, Laura Harper, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.